Is it his time? Yes!
Many doubted we'd ever see it. But here it is. The return to glory.
Well, here it comes. Oh my goodness.
Mnlefthanders podcast, Masters Preview Edition. Lots to talk about today. It's going to be a bit of a longer one. I'm going to go through a few things, storylines, what to expect. It's my favorite week of the year. I mean, it's the tournament that was the beginning of the phrase moving day. What's more anticipated than the back nine on Sunday at the Masters? You know, those are two things that just stand out as uniquely Masters. I can't think of another tournament where a winner would name his firstborn child after a hole at this course, you know, and the flowers. Obviously, there was Sergio naming his firstborn Azalea after his win in 2017. It just has that effect on people. Look at what it has meant over the last week to watch Tiger. You know, we're tracking plane flights into town and home, and what shoes he's wearing. And I think Riggs at Barstool is going to have an aneurysm with how excited he is. That's just where we're at. That's what this tournament asks for. Aside from that, I'd like to, because of course I'll talk some Tiger Woods. My personal pick, Masters odds, any other storylines. We'll cover the weather, kind of what to expect. It sounds like today, as I record this on Tuesday, I'm watching Masters live on Golf Channel right now, but it looks like it's going to be a bit of a washout. There's a few people out on the course. There's a few players out on the course getting some warm-up in. Tiger's definitely out there. You know, we're still kind of in limbo with him. We don't know if he's going to play. He's still trying to figure it out, but it's a safe bet that he'll play. We'll see. I mean, to look at this and say Tiger's here and Phil isn't. What a crazy spot we're in. Did not expect that. Yet it is kind of amazing how two guys in their upper 40s to 50s can drive the storylines at the Masters when you have the firepower in the top five in the world that you have. But that's what these two have meant, Tiger and Phil. So I'll kind of talk about what that means, kind of what to expect with that. And also talk about the World Golf Ranking and who might pop up, who's going to play well, because obviously those young guys will. And we'll kind of talk a little bit about what that is going to mean for the tournament. Couple of things that are uniquely Augusta, the cost of concessions out there that don't seem to be affected by inflation. It's pretty awesome. So we'll talk a little bit about that. The Champions Dinner, Hideki Matsuyama. I saw Wagyu. I saw sushi. I saw strawberry shortcake for dessert. Definitely going to be an awesome one. Tiger said back in, I believe it was at the Genesis when Nance pushed him pretty hard to see if he was going to play. He said, "I'll be there Tuesday to be at dinner." I think he's pretty excited for this one. So we'll talk about all those things and more. So here we go. right, as I said, Tuesday, as I record this, Tiger is on Masters Live, or live from the Masters with Golf Channel at the moment. He's out early, as are a lot of others, because they're looking at a lot of rain, some pretty severe weather. The rest of today, maybe even a little bit tomorrow. I guess I'm not positive, but I've got the forecast for the tournament days. We are looking at Thursday, 77 degrees, Friday, 66, Saturday, 68, and Sunday, 74. I mean, 80% chance of rain, I guess, on Thursday might affect it, but I mean, our weekend is just beautiful. We're not going to have any sort of washout. It's not going to be Zach Johnson's win in 07, I believe it was 07, putting my Masters trivia to the test. I believe it was 07. When the winning score, he was either one under or one over, and it was cold that weekend. We're not going to have that. It's going to be great, which I think bodes well for Tiger. I think everything that I talk about in this particular Masters preview is going to come back to what it means for Tiger, because he said, it's going to come down to walking, and I think if his body's in shape, he'll be all right. He can hit the shots. He said this, I think, pre-PNC or maybe Hero World Challenge back in December. Look, I can go hit the shots. I can go, play 9 holes. It's easy to get out and hop in a cart and play 18. I got that. It's the walking. It's going to be the rigors of that are going to be trouble. And again, I don't think TV does it justice at the Masters, how hilly Augusta National is and the strain that it puts on their bodies. So if his leg can hold up, I mean, amputation was on the table, for crying out loud. If his leg can hold up, I think he will be all right. So the weather is looking like that's going to be something that he'll be able to manage, provided he doesn't slip on Thursday maybe. And maybe, even today, with the storm and whatever else comes that keeps him off his feet, that might bode well for him. I don't suspect that, he'll win. It would be something if he won. Holy cow, I think. And people my age at 32 and older, would absolutely love it. I think everyone would, but it would just mean more to those of us who watched him, in his prime. And like all the guys on Live From have been saying, Paul McGinley, in particular, said, look, he's not just going to come play if he doesn't think he can win. He's going to come here to win. I've got a clip here that I gotta believe hasn't changed. Scott Van Pelt and Tiger many years ago, that I'll play here, that just talks about Tiger's mindset. What's important to him? He's not coming here without this being important to him.
I love to win. I hate to lose.
I love to win. And I really hate to lose.
I gave you, this is not how it works. It's not how it works. It's I love to win or I hate to lose.
I'd much rather win.
All right. You can finish your career with 19 majors, one more than Jack, or 100 wins.
19.
You can finish your career with 17 majors, one fewer than Jack, or 100 wins.
19.
17 majors or 100 wins. Which
19.
This isn't how it works. You're not in charge
I'm
here.
just using the one you used.
I gave you 19. You chose that. This
Okay.
is a different question.
Okay.
17 majors or 100
I
wins.
can't go that one.
Because if you had 17, you'd be 85 years old showing up at Augusta talking about where's the first tee. I got to tie Nicklaus, right?
No, I had 2 more away from beating him.
So 19 is not an option. 17 is not an option.
Correct.
Based on what we were just saying and all these comparisons, Jack Nicklaus or Tiger Woods?
Me.
Really?
You have to believe in yourself, don't you?
Absolutely.
Granted, he is the greatest of all time, but you still have to believe in yourself.
So Tiger Woods.
So there you have it, 19. I mean, 100 wins, 19 majors. It's 19 majors. This would give him 16. This would tie Jack's total Masters victories. He's not coming here if he doesn't think he can do it. I hope he stays healthy. I hope this isn't a decision that keeps him out of the remaining majors. I mean, honestly, if he plays 6 tournaments a year for the next 4 years, a couple here and there, and 4 of them are majors. that's what it is. He wants 19. He wants it. He's 46, I believe. It's definitely out there. I mean, we just saw Phil get at 50 or 51 win a major. It can be done. These guys, you don't have to wash out maybe like you used to. Fitness and everything and equipment and all that stuff works in their favor as they get older. But I'll be interested to see, with the remaining major venues, if he is able to still compete in those, because a place like St. Andrews really feels possible. He's obviously won there before. It's not going to put the physical strain on his body that Augusta might. So as long as Augusta doesn't put him off the radar, injure him, and keep him off his practice for a while, I think he's got a chance to play in the rest of them, and we'll see what that leads to. 2022 Masters odds. We have Jon Rahm at plus 1,000, Justin Thomas at plus 1,400, Dustin Johnson at plus 16, Cameron Smith at plus 16. He's one I'd like to highlight in this episode a little bit. I'm pretty high on him as someone who has a real opportunity. Scotty Scheffler also at 1,600, Rory McIlroy at 1,800, Brooks and Cantlay and Jordan Spieth and Victor Hovland and Colin Morikawa all at plus 2,000. I think that's a series of just awesome. I mean, what a grouping there. I don't know. None of those names are quite as intriguing to me. One is Rory McIlroy, and two as Cam Smith. Smith with 2 wins this year already. He won the inaugural, not the inaugural, I'm sorry, but the season kickoff, not including the wraparound, but in January at the Tournament of Champions. And he won the Players. I mean, the guy is playing well. Between him and Scotty Scheffler, they're taking up about half the tournaments this year. So, Cameron Smith, let's take a look at his last 4 Masters. 2018, he took 5th place. 19, 51st. 2020, he tied for 2nd. And 2021, he tied for 10th. This is a guy who's on the cusp of winning majors. As far as official world golf rankings go, he's definitely climbing. Currently, he is number 6 in the world, trending the right way. The only one who might be hotter than him at the moment is Scotty Scheffler, who you could make an argument for as well. I get that. He's the guy's hot as can be. He's got three wins this year already. But I just really think this place, for whatever reason, Cam Smith gets along with this place real well. That said, I don't think anyone wants it more than Rory McIlroy. It is the major he's missing. It is the opportunities that he's had. It is the place where he just gave it all away on Sunday. I forgot the year, but he shot something like 80, and he had it, and then he just hasn't really done much since. But that was many years ago. He has the most top 10s, I think, at the Masters of anyone in the field, without wins. He knows what he's doing. He's got this. It's just, he said it in his press conference today. He needs to avoid that big number. Some of the analysts, Rich Lerner, Brandel, and Paul McGinley were saying, just get Thursday going. Don't have a bad Thursday. You're not going to win the tournament on Thursday, but you can give it away. You can lose the tournament on Thursday, but you're not going to win it. So just don't lose it, Rory. Keep yourself, close. Give yourself an opportunity as the weather gets better, as the heat turns up, as the pressure mounts. Put yourself in position. We know you can do it. He's got some wins. Man, I think that fire's still burning after what he felt after the Ryder Cup. Just saying how much he loved it, how he needed to be more of a leader for that team, and he does. I mean, the guy's 34. He needs to be the face of that Ryder Cup team, that European team, and I just got the sense from that day that he was winning the Masters. We'll see. I really think it's his year. God, this year is just thick with storylines. I'm so excited. I cannot wait, particularly for Sunday, but I will just be glued to everything that is the Masters, and social media is going to open so many doors for us. All right, on to a couple just unique things about Augusta National. Changes to the course and concession costs. So Bob Herrig, in an article out of SI, talked about the changes that will greet the players as they get to Augusta National this year. Couple of changes on 2 holes. He writes that the par 4 11th was stretched from 505 yards to 520 yards, adding more zest to a hole that was already one of the most difficult in tournament history. And the par 5 15th, traditionally among the easiest, went from 530 to 550. 550. 15 trees were removed from the right side of the 11th fairway, along with a significant amount of pine straw. The second shot that Tiger Woods hit to the green during the final round of his 2019 victory no longer exists. It appears that there will actually be more room on that side of the fairway. He quotes Rory in the stories, who said it's a big change after Rory had seen the 11th for the first time when he visited for practice rounds on Monday and Tuesday. It's obviously a longer hole. The fairway is much wider, so even if you miss it right, you still have a chance to hit the green. The green complexes are the same, but the surrounds of the green are much more penal, so that sort of bailout to the right is much more difficult than it used to be. Overall, I think it's going to be it's going to play tougher than it has in previous years, and it was already one of the toughest holes on the course. So, I don't know. We can read into that as positive, as a negative. Will it be a welcome change as we reflect on this on Sunday? Who's to say? We'll see. Next up, concessions. This always seems to be a topic of discussion at the Masters. The pimento cheese sandwich is always sort of, Masters lore, that sort of thing. But I've got a photo here posted on Twitter, I believe from @SamanthaMarks, who posted that, here, kind of the menu. And we've got sandwiches anywhere from $1.50 to $3. A pimento cheese sandwich still sits at $1.50. Snacks and miscellaneous, $1.50 muffin. A banana's $1. You got drinks, 20-ounce soda, 20-ounce tea, lemonade, sports drinks. These are all $2. Like, this stuff is $8 at other sporting events. It's amazing that they've always sort of kept it this way. It's one of those things that makes the Masters great. I will tweet that photo. I'll put that on my Instagram and my Twitter as well. So just a small bit of note that I think is important. To kind of keep the Masters. It kind of sets the Masters above all else. Keeps it unique in its own way. Hideki Matsuyama is on the ground at Augusta National as well. There's a little bit of chatter about his neck and some of the concerns. I believe he withdrew from Valero last week with a neck injury. One recently, things were looking good. He was trending the right way, and then had this neck injury. And so definitely a storyline as we always obviously follow the defending champion. So let's talk a little bit about last year. A 65 on Saturday catapulted Hideki up the leaderboard, put him in position to win his first Masters, be the first male of Japanese descent to win a major, which is obviously a big deal. It came down the stretch, the back nine on Sunday, 2021 edition, was Hideki and Xander Schauffele. Will Zalatoris mixed in a little bit there. it looked like Hideki was going to cruise. It really did. There wasn't anything there that, we got through the 12, 13, 14, 15, kind of the meat, the whole AMN corner bit, without much of an issue. No, we didn't get all the way through 15. The two-shot swing on 15 when Hideki bogeyed and Xander birdied kind of made things a little bit more close, a little bit more nerve-wracking, I'm sure, for Hideki at that point. Lots of possibilities at 16 with that Sunday pin that we know if you throw it out to the right, it'll kind of feed back in, spin back in. Hole-in-ones are possible. You hit it tight, you can make up another shot. And Xander went for it. He had to. He didn't have a choice. He needed to make up a couple shots. Ends up tripling, which kind of ended his comeback. Kind of sealed the deal for Hideki there as he finished out 17 and 18, which is awesome. It's super cool. Still kind of added a little bit of drama to that. But we didn't have quite the Jordan Spieth like drama that we have 2015 and 17. Since then, Hideki has won twice, once at the Zozo and once at the Sony Open. He's a major reason that I have been beating the international team drum for the President's Cup this fall. And earlier, just a couple of minutes ago, I talked about Cam Smith as well. I mean, I really think that this is a team to be reckoned with. We'll see. I could be wrong. But I really think that they're going to make a run. And Hideki's presence, his climb up on the world stage and has been a big part of that. However, as far as a repeat, there have only been 2 back-to-back winners in Masters history, and it's been 20 years since the last one, which, of course, was Tiger Woods, 2000, 2001, and the other was Nick Faldo in 89 and 90. So it's just been a long time. I don't see it happening, especially you throw in this neck bit. Awesome to see Hideki out there, but I just don't think it's going to happen for him this year. So amazingly, here we are, with all the storylines at the Masters this year, to be almost 20 minutes into this episode and not even have mentioned Scottie Scheffler's name. There's no player on the planet hotter than Scottie Scheffler at the moment, male at least. The guy's got 3 wins. He just catapulted to number 1 in the world, and we're not even really talking about him. It's can Rory win? It's Tiger. I mean, there's so many other things to chat about, which, listen, I don't know if that's going to be good for Scottie Scheffler. I don't know if that's going to be bad for Scottie Scheffler. But the guy deserves a little bit of notice. He's got a real opportunity here to ride the wave that he's on and, turn a party tournament into an elevated event, into a WGC, into a major. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. He's got that real opportunity here. So, something worth noting with him as well. But Tiger's existence has maybe is welcome to a guy like Scottie Scheffler. Maybe to all of them. Tiger's used to this. This is nothing new to him, but it's taking all of the pressure off of these other guys. Not all the pressure, but a lot of the pressure off of them. They get to fly under the radar a little bit, prep without, lots of media buzz around him. If Tiger wasn't playing, Scottie Scheffler would be all over the news. I got to believe that he would be one of the most talked about guys, because how do you have 3 wins and not come in as the favorite? And he does. He actually didn't. I just went through that early on, and it's Jon Rahm, at least at the moment. So we'll see where he lands. I went and looked up his previous Masters finishes back in 2021. He finished T18, 2020, T19. So take that for what you will. I don't know. He wasn't the Scottie Scheffler he is now, and his short career has changed a lot in that time. So, we'll have to see where he lands this year. I wouldn't put a top 5 off the table for him. It seems like something that he can definitely get to. I suppose we should talk about Tiger. The guy, it begs to be talked about. Lots has been made about his readiness for this. It's definitely the under-promise, over-deliver method to his madness. If you want to go back to that Jim Nantz interview where he basically said, look, I don't know. I'll be there Tuesday, but I'm not sure. I can't say. I need to see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to walk that course. And then the Barstool guys found his flight path or whatever that would be called. They found his plane. He flew to Augusta. And the world just blew up at that point. And now here we are. He seems to be doing okay. Todd Lewis was on Masters, live from the Masters on Golf Channel, saying that yesterday, Monday, he walked 9. There was a noticeable limp. But then you got Fred Couples out there saying he looked phenomenal. His driver was bombing it. His irons were spot on. He was keeping up with Justin Thomas, off the tee. So I don't know. I don't know where we landed on that. Fred could also be protecting him a little bit. You can't say after 9 holes, if a guy's limping after 9, that he's ready to play 18 holes of pressure golf at the Masters, or 72 holes of pressure golf at the Masters. But we don't know that for sure. I mean, this is Tiger Woods. The man played on a broken leg. He won the U.S. Open on a broken leg. 5 rounds. He had to play an extra day on a broken leg. So, I mean, I just wouldn't put anything past the guy at this point. Here's Rory kind of talking about the importance of having Tiger at this tournament.
I think for golf and for the Masters tournament and for everyone to have Tiger there would be phenomenal. I mean, I think it just adds to the event. Of course it does. Anything Tiger Woods does in the game of golf is heightened whenever he's there. So, I mean, it would be awesome for him to be there. He was there yesterday, obviously, and he's trying to see what he can do. So, obviously, no one knows but him if he can, make it round and think, if he believes he can compete.
Does anything he does surprise you anymore?
Yeah, everything. I mean, I've said this so many times, but from basically March of 2017, fast forward 2 years, and he wins the Masters, and where he was with his body and what he had to do to get back to being somewhat healthy. And it's not even being somewhat healthy, it's also what he has to do before the round and after the round just to get himself ready to go and play golf. I mean, yeah, the sheer will and perseverance, and yeah, I mean, it is incredible. And if he comes back from this again, it's just, yeah, I mean, he likes to prove people wrong. He likes to prove himself wrong, I think. And regardless of when he does come back, whether it's next week or a few weeks, or a few months down the line, he's a wonderful addition to the game, and the game of golf is better when he's playing and when he's playing well.
And so, yeah, I mean, he's 46. Something like right now, if you look at the age, there's not anyone in the top 5 in the world who's over 30. We're looking at a generation still. Let's throw Cam Smith in there, Justin Thomas in there, Xander Schauffele in there, Sam Burns in there. We're getting out to the top, maybe 11 in the world now. But this is a generation of player who are, number one, they grew up with him. They probably got into golf because of him. And 2, are reaping the financial benefits of what he has brought to this game. We've been down that road many times. We know that all of this is true. This next generation is the Tiger generation. I mean, they're there because of what he has brought to this game, and it just shows the importance of him to the game. And I think Rory's points, as always, because he's very candid and very honest and a good interview, sort of just reiterate that. Obviously, notably missing is Phil Mickelson, and what does that mean? How are we supposed to take that? Dude hasn't missed the Masters in something like 20-something years, so this is a interesting absence. Of his own volition, are we just saying of his own volition? I don't know what to think. I don't know what to say. Obviously, we know what the last month has brought for him, and to not have him here, number one, feels like this is like he's been told to sort of step away, but also to not have him here as a reigning major champion, obviously with the PGA Championship, just doesn't feel right. He's someone who I'd like to see back as soon as possible. I think that there's room to forgive. We've been down that road too, and I'd like to see him back on tour. Not having him here there's going to be a Phil Mickelson sized hole at the Masters for sure. He's a character and he'll be missed. All right, as more pops up about the Masters, as the days pass here, the practice days pass here, and the tournament starts, I will be fairly active on social media. I don't know that I'll get around to another podcast. Maybe a recap early next week, but nothing preview here. I'm not going to jump on nightly or anything. But I'll be fairly active on social media, tweeting leaderboards, conversations, press conferences, that sort of thing. And what is the Masters here in Minnesota? Masters weekend without a little bit of snow. I'm looking out my window right now on Tuesday at some snowfall and high 30s temps. This is the April that we are up against. It's fairly common. I distinctly remember a couple, at least maybe 14, 16 inches one Masters Sunday. I don't think we're going to get that, thank goodness. But what's an early April without some snow? So that's what we're up against here in Minnesota. Just loving the bright green and the flowers blooming and all that. It's the official kickoff to spring. We love it. One more time here as we wrap up this episode, remember that the State Lefty is approaching July 16th and 17th out at Riverwood National. If you'd like to get on an email list or you know a lefty who you'd like to spread that word to, have them email me at mnlefthanders@gmail.com. I send out weekly emails. Not today's, but I sent out yesterday the April update. It was sort of a blend of lefty open information and my giddy childlike excitement for this weekend, this Masters. So you'll see those updates kind of coming bi-weekly here. I'll probably switch from monthly to bi-weekly very soon as we approach that, because I want to get commits. I want to keep it top of mind. I want you to know that it is a 2-day event, a 2-day 36-hole, 18 each day event, flighted, handy, not so much handicapped, unless we feel like that is necessary. And if you can't commit to that is okay. Saturday night, I will have a 9-hole skins across the street at Vintage. It's a whole facility. It's awesome. They got a lot going on out at Riverwood. So if you can't commit to that, but you'd like to come out and play 9 holes, by all means, use that as an opportunity to do that. I'm thinking we might even go Big Cup skins, open the door to some chip-ins. I mean, obviously the hole-in-one opportunity increases too, but, using those junior cups for chip-ins and making those longer putts. In the evening, you've got 5 miles each way to Otsego or Monticello. My suggestion is go to Otsego, find the Holiday Inn out there, and grab some dinner in Otsego. There's a lot of cool options. Got a Cowboy Jack's. So lots of opportunities out there for lodging and food. Sunday we're back at 9 a.m. for tee times and get you out of there and on the road again by 1 or 2. Looking forward to a couple other options, a couple other new events that I'm going to kind of keep under wraps at the moment. But yeah, email me if you're interested. Give me a follow at all my social channels, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. This podcast is obviously posted wherever you are listening, Spotify, Substack, YouTube. So Check out those social media for updates on the Masters as they happen. I'll try to keep that as updated as I can. And thanks for listening.